Gregory Keene is here to describe the concluding chapter of the story from Sherry Reed's penthouse in the Cunningham Towers.
So the affair of Bruno Kesselring and the NightShade gang comes to an end, 30 days after it began. In the early hours of this morning, we collected the cars, waited for an ambulance to take Huberman, Carlotta, and Gusick away, made arrangements to return my fishing boat to its owner, and left the house at Cape Camaret where so much had been crowded into the final 5 hours. Now, Henry Murray, Sherry, the police sergeant Elliot, and myself are back in Sydney. Tom Cutts is in hospital. Stella Wilson is at police headquarters in Phillip Street making a statement. And we can all take stock of the NightShade ring, of the way it came to its violent destruction, of ourselves.
By Godfrey Keene, it's good to be able to relax.
More coffee, Inspector?
Black again, please, Sherry.
Yes, we seem to have tied it up all round. Are there any more loose threads?
There won't be when we've all made our statements. The Wilson girl will be all right. Cutts is getting the best attention for his leg. Kesselring's been taken charge of by the appropriate people. And as soon as the Linden woman pulls itself together, she'll look as good as new.
I can't get over poor Kesselring. Beside himself with grief every inch of the way back here to town. Grieving for that inhuman creature.
I'm no psychiatrist, Keene. I'm only a cop.
Oh, so am I. And I still like to see some sort of rhyme and reason in human emotions.
Well, thanks for the coffee, Sherry. I'm going home. I don't want to see or hear from either of you for 24 hours. If you can't get him to lie down, Sherry, give him a Mickey Finn or something. Will you show me out?
After you.
Cheerio, Keene. I'll see you tomorrow.
Cheerio.
Come outside for a minute, Sherry. I want a word with you.
Right. What is it?
You watch that chap. He doesn't look too good to me.
He doesn't look too good to me either.
2 pins, I'd get a doctor to him.
He won't hear of it.
Well, you be careful how you handle him. He's badly knocked about in that factory loft, remember, and he didn't give himself time to get properly over it. Now, in the last few days, he must have driven more than 1,000 miles as hard as he could go. He's been on his feet I don't know how long. He sailed that boat down the coast in a storm. He was swimming about in the cove, icy cold, and then there were the 5 hours down in Carlotta's cellar. Huberman battered him around to start with, and he was savaged by the dog and all the rest of it. As I said, you be careful.
I'll get him tucked in somehow.
Make him stop swilling down brandy.
He says it's the only thing that keeps him going.
Well, there's no reason for him to keep going any longer. Goodbye for now, girl. If you ask me, Keene doesn't deserve his luck.
I wish I could hear something like that from Keene. Bye. Where are you, darling?
Yeah.
Say, isn't it about time you turned in?
What about you?
Oh, I'm wide awake, even if I was up all night. But you, darling, really, you'll come to bits if you don't slow down.
You know, I can't get that poor devil Kesselring out of my head. I can't persuade myself the story he told me was true. About the NightShade people saddling him with a dope shipment.
Does it matter now?
Carlotta owned that man, body and soul. I think he did whatever she wanted him to of his own free will and accord. Oh, but what the deuce, it's all over now.
Yes, it's all over now.
But knowing just what sort of a creature she was, knowing she was going to butcher him down in that cellar, he still couldn't bear to see her die.
Darling, will you forget those terrible people? Put them out of your head. Don't let them come into contact with you.
No, but they do, Sherry. You can't keep them away.
Keene, come here. Come here. Put your arms round me. Now listen. Instead of turning Kesselring over and over in your mind, what about you and me?
I know. The last decision to make.
There's nothing to keep you here now, is there?
No.
One day soon, you're going to say goodbye to me. Wave your arm, turn your back. Step into a plane. and I'll never see you again.
Well, couldn't it wait?
This won't wait. Keen, what sort of a life do you lead with this dreadful profession you're in? You're not the man for it. You're too deeply affected by what goes on around you. Resign, darling. Be an ordinary human being. Don't go back to England at all. You could be contented here.
When I turn my back, Sherry, you forget I ever came near you at all.
Why? Because you can't forget things that happened before you stumbled over me? Look, I'm not an ordinary sort of person. I know perfectly well I shouldn't be saying these things at all. But I love you, Keen. For what it's worth, I love you and I want you. You say you can't understand Bruno Kesselring. Well, I can't understand you. She's dead, and nothing in the world can bring her to life again. So let her die in your mind, too. I love you, Keen. I love you, Keen. I will always love you. Will you hold me close and never let me go?
Yes. Yes, darling, I'll never let you go.
When you've forgotten the things that brought us together, then there will be nothing to come between us.
We'll be married. Will you marry me, darling?
Whenever you want me to.
We'll get away from here. We'll go to the continent. I'll get away from this ghastly racket. I knew when I met you first, when I first set eyes on you, there was no other woman in the world for me. So they had to be destroyed, all of them. I only wanted to save you for myself. But I didn't fail, did I?
No, sweetheart, you didn't fail.
They're all dead. I thought you were killed, too. Up there in the warehouse loft.
Oh, Keen, darling, your arms round me. I'm alive, only wanting to love you.
If there'd been 100 of them, I'd have run them down. All of them. Mazzotti, Bruckmann, Rubinstein, Yotti Blum, all of them. They all had to go.
Who did you say?
You know them. Demetrius and his men. The man who brought you from Berlin.
Keen. Keen, you don't know what you're saying.
Oh, but I do. Don't go away from me, Hedy. Stay close to me.
Let me go. Let me go.
I'll never let you go. Hedy, my darling.
Keen, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind, I tell you. I'm not Hedy Bergner. She's dead. I'm Sherry Reed. Keen, get a grip on yourself. It's me, Sherry.
What?
What's come over you, Keen?
I don't know. Something went wrong somewhere. I can't see.
Oh, darling. Inspector Murray was so right. Hello? This is Sherry Reed, Cunningham Towers penthouse. Tell Dr. Coombs I want him at once, urgently. All right, 10 minutes. No, not for me. For a man who's just about dead of exhaustion. A man who had to go off his head to make me realize. A man who's not for me.
Kurtz. Yes, sir? A fine fathead you look. Hobbling about on crutches with one leg in plaster.
I don't know what my Aunt Minnie's going to say, sir.
You probably skinned me alive.
It seems time to say goodbye, Keen.
Yes, it looks like it. Well, so long, Mary.
Goodbye, old man. Have a good trip home.
Thanks.
Goodbye, Kurtz. Look after that leg. Goodbye, sir. And next time we run into a type like Mike Busick, we know who to send for.
Well, Keen, this is it.
Yes, Sherry, this is it. Except to say thank you for everything, and I'm sorry I blew up that day a week ago. Well, there's really not much I can put into words.
Don't try. I'll be in London in about a year. Will you take me to dinner one night?
Try and stop me.
Goodbye, darling.
Good luck, Sherry.
Well, young woman, there they go.
Inspector Murray, will you stop being a policeman for an hour and do something for me?
Name it.
Buy me a drink.
Now, what do you want a drink for?
I wanted to cry into, and I'm not going to blubber at an aerodrome.
I liked him, too.
You're lucky. You only like the man.
Did I hear you say you were going to be in London in about a year?
Yes.
Well, why wait that long?
Would that be good advice?
He only has to forget Haiti Bergman.
Maybe in time I could make him forget. All right, Major Gregory King. Au revoir. Till we meet again.
There it lies below us, glittering in the sun. Red roofs, green parks, blue water, golden sand. The city of Sydney. In a few hours we'll be 1,000 miles away, but not from the memory of the woman who tried to hold it to ransom. She laid her plans well, but she sowed the wind, and so she came to her end, Carlotta Magnani, a tiger lily, who came from the slums of Scutari to die in the cellar at Cape Camere. I think now I can almost understand why Kesselring loved her so. Carlotta, the belladonna of the NightShade room.
And so concludes Deadly Nightshade. As Felix Huberman, you heard Guy Dolman, Carlotta Magnani, Sheila Sewell, Sherry Reed, Brenda Dunrich, and as Major Gregory Keene, you heard Bruce Stewart. Deadly Nightshade was an original radio story written by Lindsay Hardy. This is a Grace Gibson production, produced by Lawrence H. Cecil.